I hope the status screen is visible for everyone now.
Yes,
When you click on the software starter, this is the main interface you will get like any other software. Here you will have 5 small windows within this data interface. The below one, that is highlighted in blue one, you can read this as a command. So this window is just a this window is useful for writing the command. Suppose if I am writing something here, this command will be going to pop up in the above section. That means this portion, and this portion will be we will be calling as an output window. Whatever you give the input, and the result will pop up. Okay, and you can also notice in the review section, all the commands will be stored. After the analysis, you can just select all these commands. If you want, you can copy and paste for your future use. And in the right side, you have other two subsections. The one is variables. Now we don't have any data in the software. That's why you cannot able to see any data. Once we import some data, here all the variables will be visible for you. And below that, particular to any variables, you have some property. What is the name, label, if you have given some label, and type, whether it is numerical, string, format, and some other kind of a details you can create by using this property. Very quickly, we will see how to import data into the Stata software. You can go to the option File, and here you will see Import option. Just click on that and you will see an option Excel spreadsheet. Just click on that and it will be showing you another window, and just browse and select your data. Here you will have option to choose your sheet itself. If you have multiple sheets, like here I have 2 sheets, I have data in 2 sheets, that's why 2 sheets are visible. One is student and prop. I will select the student, that is first sheet, and always remember to check this box, that is import first row as variable name. So it will be it will take your first row as a variable. Okay, then click on that, and here you can able to see data, right? The data has imported into the Stata software. How we see the data? Just type browse. Browse is the command to visualize the data. Here you can able to see the data. Okay, some variables names are given: serial number, age, height, weight. So here you can visualize your data has correctly imported into the Stata or not. Okay. The shortcut command is BR. If you type BR, again it will show the command, same command. If you want to clear this data, just type clear, all data will get vanished. Okay. The other way is in the above, there is a small window, data editor. If you click on that, again the data sheet will open. If you want to enter your data manually, you can type. Okay. So this way also you can create your own data sheet. So this software we will be using to extract data today. That's why I was just giving a flavor of Stata software, those who are very new to this particular software. Okay. Now we will jump on to the data extraction part. I hope slides are visible for everyone.
Yes, it's visible.
Yes,
I request all of you to take a pen and paper and take down only few points, not all the details, only the major steps, because these steps are common to all the unit level data. Like if you are working with NSSO or ASI or the family health survey, these steps are same. So that's why I request all of you to note down, and it will be very useful after this session. Okay. The first one is what are the steps we need to understand or we need to learn for data extraction. Let me make you clear that these are all these steps are not standard. Means it's not, these steps are not steps like someone has standardized and I am teaching you. For the simplicity, I have just listed these steps so that we can remember and we can learn easily. The first step, of course, we need to know the data source. Okay, that where we get the data, how to access these data, that I will be discussing. The second thing is what is the purpose of the survey and structure of the data, because we need to before buying or before accessing unit level data, we need to know what that unit level data is consisting of. Okay, that will save your energy and also money. And next part, of course, the once you decide which round you want, either you want to go for NSSO or the labor survey or the ASI, then you will buy or then you will get access with the unit level data. After that, you will be extracting data. For the extraction purpose, of course, you need software. You can use any software, R software, Stata, SPSS, even Excel also can be used, but Excel has the limitation. It cannot handle a large data set. That's why we mostly rely on any particular software. We need to generate some common ID. I will come back to that. What is common ID? How to generate? Why we need to generate common ID? We need to learn some commands and understanding of the reshaping. What is the necessary of reshaping? Why it is important? Then we need to merge data sets. Okay, these are the certain steps we need to remember, and they are very essential steps while extracting the unit level database. As I already told, first you need to know the data source. MOSPI is the one huge kind of a data source we have. Already Alka ma'am has discussed in detail how to go and how to see different options and explore. Here you always has to see the summary results and key indicators before jumping into the unit level data, because key indicators are freely available. They are in the form of PDF. You need not to give your even credentials, or you need not to create your account. Just Google it, you can able to download. So that is the first step, and after reading that you will be going for the unit level data. Of course, the source is MOSPI. One source is MOSPI. The second one is ICSSR data service. They also take the data from MOSPI itself, but they have the library provision, and to encourage students to use more and more this kind of a data, they have their own catalog. You can see here micro catalog option is there. But for this you need to register. Here one option is there, you can able to see, I guess. Just click on this, it will be asking whether you are a student, then you have to provide your ID card and all. Then you register and they will be giving you accessibility. Not only one round, n number of rounds are there. All the previous rounds will be available. The fresh rounds will take time a little bit, but otherwise every data you can able to access in this website also. I would like to also highlight one option, that is guide and tutorial. Here you will get all the detailed instruction, even for different softwares like R, SPSS, Stata, how you have to handle this kind of a database. Just go through here, certain tutorials are there, explore this, you will get more and more idea of dealing with unit level database. This I have already told, like summary results are useful. Before going to the unit level, you just go through the key indicator file. Actual unit level data looks something like this. This is a kind of a text file. This is a text file, and within text file we have lot of digits. Just it is arranged in number of rows and number of columns. We don't have any clues that what this digit is about. For example, what is 00? What is 12? So we don't have any information in this text file. This is how your unit level data looks when you buy or when you get the unit level data. This is the data file. Within the data file, you will be having a couple of files, text files. the text file looks similarly like this. Okay, and next is very important, I would say, most crucial step. Once you have your unit level data, you will understand what the data, what is the variables and all. You need to generate common ID. Let's have some hypothetical example and we will understand why common ID is important and why we need to generate common ID. For example, in table 1, what it is written: student name, student code, age, state, height, and results. Okay, I have just listed only 4 students' name: Ramesh, Kavya, Sunil, Ramesh. Okay, student code, for the simplicity, I have taken first letter and their age and their state, height, result. This in this table, what is the problem? We have student by the name Ramesh, 2 students. Obviously, when I start coding their name with the first letter, it becomes similar, same, RR. And unfortunately, we have the age also 2020, and they also coming from the state Delhi. So all this information becomes common for the student who is having name Ramesh. But we have other variable height. This one is making difference between the first Ramesh and the last one. He is having 151 and the last one it is 165. So we need to identify variables in such a way that we should identify the basic unit. Basic unit in our NSSO data is household, right? So after identifying this kind of variables, you need to concat or you need to merge. You are not going to add or subtract, just you will arrange these details in a single row, single column. That is R20 D1 51. Here what happened? No way the first and second Ramesh details can shuffle. With chances are very minimal. So easily you can put pass results in front of this ID instead of putting Ramesh, and fail result in front of the last ID for the last Ramesh. Okay, so this kind of exercise you have to do for each file. We will be having number of files that I will be showing to you when we start working with the original data. Just for the understanding purpose, in some columns there will be duplications. For that duplications, if without addressing duplication, if you start merging, it becomes a confusion and data also may mislead when you complete your analysis. Okay, and similarly way in the second table, I mean in the second block, we have some other information. What is that information? The grade. This information is not available in table, but we want to announce the grade also, not only whether student is pass, student is fail, which grade he, how much marks he has taken, whether he is excellent more than 80%, 70%, or 60%, something like that. Okay, so that details has given in table 2. The Ramesh is having A grade and the second one is having C grade. Again, here also same problem, right? So for this also, we will be creating ID so that it becomes unique. This Ramesh is having the information of past result with A grade, and the second one is having always F grade with the C grade. So we will be nullifying our error that this C,
ये हमको दीजिए, ये यहाँ रखते हैं.
So we will be creating common ID to avoid any kind of a mismanagement kind of a things before going to the analysis part. Okay, this we call it as a generation of common ID or unique ID. So same information I have just kept here so that you will have a feel. This is the example from NSSO data. This is the state, region, district, HH number. Same kind of information you are going to see in the NSSO data. You can notice here household number 1. All the households numbers are given 1, but they belongs to the state 2. They belongs to different state. These 3 are belongs to first state. The last one belongs to second state. Again here there is a common 111. All the 3 households belongs to same state, and the region also. All the first 2 households 2 households belongs to. 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 2 hou first two households belongs to the region A, that is 1, but we have the different key, that is this state, where we can differentiate this household from the second household. Okay, so when we concatenate these information, we will be having our ID, that we call it as a common ID or unique ID. Okay, this is the purpose of creating common ID. And next we will move on to the part reshaping. Okay, first we have seen how the data looks and we have created some common ID. Then we have moved to the data reshape. Why data reshaping is needed? Okay, look at the first table. What it is, what it says. Some ID we have already generated from the previous slide, and their results I have listed here. So this particular student needs his marks subject wise, his grade subject wise. He has attempted 3 exams, 3 subjects, that is subject 1, subject 2, subject 3. Correspondingly, he has grades. In all the subjects, he got a grade A. Similarly, for the second student, third student, fourth students, we have the same information. But we want to give this information with respect to the IDs we have created. So here how it is, how the data table is looking. We have only one ID, corresponding to that we have only one observation. But here what happens, these IDs are repeating, and corresponding to this repeating ID we have information, we have observation. So this we cannot append with this table. The first table cannot be appended directly with the second table. For that we need to convert this table into the wider format. This format we call it as a longer format. The data are arranged in the longitudinal way. Okay, this format we are going to create into a wider format where these IDs are not repeating, in the sense that these IDs are only once and they are unique, and correspondingly we are adding grades. So here what happened, the subject got invisible, it has dropped, right? So grade has become 3 grades, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. Grade 1 means grade 1 for first subject, grade 2 for second subject, grade 3 for third subject. So now it becomes similar to that of the original table, where we have only one column and 4 students, corresponding to that we have results. In table 2, this is the converted table. Say we have the same kind of information, same structure of information, ID and 4 students. Corresponding to this, we have grade 1, grade 2, grade 3 information. So now easily you can append these 2 tables, right? All the 3 columns you can keep it here, like this way. Okay, so here you have students detail, you have grades subject wise, and the overall results. So this we got after merging these 2. So merging is only possible when you reshape your table from longitudinal to wide, not always long to wide. If your original table is long, then you have the other table in the wide form, then you go for wide to long, then merge it. See how your data is looking and how you want your data to be for the analysis purpose. So in the final stage, we will be merging. So we club all the information, that is student characteristics. R is the Ramesh, we know he's having age 20, he's from Delhi, and his height is this much, and he got grades from all 3 subjects A, and overall result becomes P. So this example you can very well quote with our farmers, very well compare with our farmers, like this is your farmer, this is your income, and this is your crops, like crop 1, crop 2, crop 3. What is the productivity? So here is your crop productivity from 3 crops, and from 3 crops, this is the productivity, and out of this, what is the total income? So we want to know how much is the income for rice, rice farmers or wheat farmers, or from the dairy or from the fishery. So this kind of an information you would able to get only after doing this sort of an exercise. Okay. So now I will be just ending this PPT. I will be closing PPT. We will we will move into the NSS4 data, the real data. Okay. Hope you can able to see the files. Okay. I will just open this file. Are you able to see the folder name?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I will just open this file. You can able to see the 3 folders within it, right? One is data, other one is supporting document, the third one is the PDF, that is the key indicator. Let me open this data file. So you can able to see the 17 items, okay, 17 text files. If I open the first one, so can you able to see? This is the unit level data of first section, okay. The numbers are just arranged in rows and columns. Let me open any other data, okay. So similarly, you have 18 items in this particular survey, NSS 70, okay, 70th round. And this is your key indicator, which I was talking about. Just go through carefully with this document. It will give almost all the information which you needed for the decoding purpose. What is the background? What is the objective? And if you want to compare with the previous round, what is the way, how the sample is constructed, what is the sample size, some of the tables. And this is also one of the most important things you need to understand. Concepts and definitions. What is the household? Livestock means what for they are referring. Wage means what? Income means what? How it is constructed. All sort of information you will get from concepts and definitions. Okay. And this sampling and design, sampling design and estimation procedure, if you have analyzed this data and you want to write a research article, this portion is very much useful. You have to discuss how survey has conducted and how sample has designed to collect the data. And one more important thing is the schedule. For going for the unit level data extraction, you have to go through this schedule thoroughly. Even a full stop is also important in this document. So read carefully this part. Let me show how it looks. Okay, this is the schedule part. If you scroll down here, it will be giving you the information of what sort of variables are recorded in which file. You have seen the text files, right? This is the text files. We have number of text files. Similarly, we have a number of blocks. This is the first block, identification. Here you have all the information which the particular household belongs to which village, which round, schedule number, whether it is a central, state, rural, urban, which district, all sort of information is given. If you find somewhere, again, the codes are given, suppose response code. Under the response code, they will be giving you the codes 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So you need to go to this PDF file and understand what is that response code. Who is that response code? So 1 means cooperative and capable. He's the response, whosoever is responded is cooperative and capable, but he is not. So that sort of information also given below. So likewise, you need to go through this schedule thoroughly for extracting unit level data. In the second block, you have particulars of field operation. And here you have other information like what activity farmer is doing, cultivating or livestock or the pension, that sort of information is given. Likewise, if you keep on, so this is also important information, the crop codes. You will not able to see which crop it is there in the unit level. So only codes are given, right? If you want to know paddy, then you need to go for, find the code that is 0101, 0101. Okay. So likewise, till If you go like this is the 7th, this is the 8th, 9th, 11, 14, 15. So we have 15. Okay. The first one was kept as a 0. So totally we have 17. Okay. So this is the schedule. You have to go through each and every variable. You have to understand properly. After understanding this, you will able to notice which variables you are interested. Suppose you are interested in the livestock products, then go to the block 7. Here the item descriptions are given and which agency they are selling, how much value they are selling, all sort of information are given in this block. For you, this block will be of more useful, like milk, egg. So in this way, go through the schedule carefully and choose which block you are interested or which is having more information for your research purpose. Then go back to the supporting document. We have seen the data, we have seen the key indicators. Now we are going to the supporting documents. In supporting documents also, some of the information is already given in key indicators, like you can see schedule. Schedule, we have already seen some information regarding sampling. So all sort of informations will be given. Some in some rounds it will be given in key indicators. In some rounds it will be there in supporting documents. As a whole, supporting documents will be having all the information, including key indicators. You can see here, key indicators also given. If you are not able to locate any codes in the PDF, you just go to supporting documents and you will be able to identify. Suppose you want state code. State code is not given in key indicator. Just go to supporting documents and find the state code. Here you could able to see the state code. If you want to work only for the northeastern state, then choose only the codes belongs to northeastern state, like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
So,
so choose only this kind of a choose only. Okay.
Okay.
Shaila, please mute yourself. Shaila.
Research.
After understanding these documents, okay. So we have seen the unit level data and the key indicator file, PDF file. We have also seen some of the documents in the supporting file. We need to understand another important file, that is data layout. Let me open this data layout to you. Hope this Excel sheet is visible for all of you. Okay. In the schedule, what we have understood, suppose A block, what are the variables are there in the A block. But the layout will tell you which digit is what is the length of the digit and what it is actually. Here you can see this layout is common for visit 1 and visit 2. That's why they have mentioned visit 1 and visit 2. You must be thinking what is visit 1 and visit 2. In NSSO, 2 times data will be collected. For example, the recent one, what ma'am was indicating, they have started in January 2019. From January to August, visit 1 was there. Then September to December, visit 2 was there. What is the use of knowing this? If you want to calculate total consumption of milk in 1 year, then you need to consider both the units, right? So for that kind of an information, you need to understand what is the unit 1, what is the unit 2, what is the length. That sort of information also already given in PDF. That we will go step by step. Now for the purpose of extraction, this layout will guide you that what is the variables and what is the length of the variables and what exactly it is given in the form of variable label. Okay. So after understanding these informations, after going through all the documents, Using this information, we will be giving command in the software. You can give command in any software, R, Stata, SPSS, but I will be showing through the Stata. But for that, for handling software, you need all these kind of an information. Okay. Till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. If you have understood, we can straight. We will go and extract the data. Okay. Okay. If no queries, then
Madam, excuse me, madam.
okay.
Madam, what is this record length? 126 number is there. Yeah, that.
This is total number of digits. How much? 120.
Okay, madam.
126 are there. So we will now extract the data. Okay, how we are going to do in Stata? If you just open the Stata software, for extracting text file, we will be using command what we call it as a infix. Okay. What is the meaning of infix? We are telling Stata to extract text file. Okay. How it is going to extract? You are going to write the name of the variables and its length. Here what? Center code. Okay. You will be writing center code. Don't leave the space in between, like center code. Don't write variables in this manner. Stata will not recognize space and it will treat both are different variables. So center code, one space, and what is the length? 1 to 3. Right? Length by position from 1 to 3. 1 to 3. And what is the next variable? FSU. What is FSU? That you need to go back to your supporting file and you need to understand. Okay. What is the length? 4 to 8. 4 to 8. And the third one is round. Space. And the length is 9 to 10. So in this manner, you have to write complete information of one particular block. The entire information till 126. If you are very much sure you don't want certain information and you are already familiar of handling this data, you can slip some of the variables. But I suggest you to extract everything because some point of time you will be needing some information. So that time again you have to start repeating the process. So write down everything. I will just open the do file which I have already written the complete code. Just a minute. So till this 142 is there. Okay. So after writing this information, you need to define the path. Just type using, once you have completed the information, whatever you want to extract, type using, then within the invited comma, you are going to define the path where you have stored your data. How you do that? Just go here and where is my data? This is the data. Just click on this and put Ctrl+L. The path will get selected. Copy that and paste it here. This is the path, complete information. After that, give a backslash, then add your data file. What is my data file? AH0133B1, right? So I have written that file, data file name .txt. That means it is a text file. So after that, you execute it. Already. Can you able to see the data? So this data has extracted into this data file now. Let's browse this one. Can you able to see all the data?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is your data which we have converted from text file to the data format. If you are working with the R, you can you will get in the R format. Okay. So after this, what we have learned, we need to create a common ID, right? So how we do that? You can write down the command if you want. The new server also having same kind of a key indicator, that is a good news. Otherwise, it will be very difficult to identify how to create ID itself. Okay. This is for 2013 round. Even for 2019 also, same kind of information is necessary for creating ID. This is a note down. And what I have given, eGen, generate ID, how concatenating this many variables. FSU, Hamlet, second stage data, sample household number. Let us see that variable has created or not. Okay. You can able to see here this, okay, ID. But why it is in red color? This is in string form. So you need to convert into numerical, okay, number format. Otherwise, you cannot use any operations like addition, divisions, those sort of information is not possible with this. How I do that? Just note down this. You will get all this information in the basic introduction video, how we write the code and all. What I am writing, B string ID and generate ID1. When you are generating new variable, you need to give some other name rather than giving the same name. So you just generate this. So this ID has now converted into numeric form, right? So let us see the entire data. Okay. Earlier it was a string variable, now it has become a numeric value. Okay. And this one I am going to save. File itself. Okay. So what we have done till now, we have chosen one variable where it has basic information, and we have given command to stata by using this layout information. Okay. And we have executed by using the command infix, and after the command I giving the path detail and also data detail. Okay. So we have decoded one file. So you need to repeat this step for all the files, the 17 files. Okay. And where is the point of reshaping and merging? Why it is necessary? So when you repeat this process, you will be having similar kind of a 17 files in the form of stata, right? And all these files will be having different information. For example, this is the demographic information, and this will be activities, whether he is doing agriculture, farming, fishery. And third one will be MSP, whether he is aware of MSP. And the fourth one will be insurance. So all those informations you have to bring into one file, so that you can use the entire database for your analysis. So how we do that? Let us do one more text file. Let me clear this. What I have written here, the same thing, infix, and I have written all the variable details and their length, and at the end I will be writing using, and I have specified the path, and this time I have taken the data of fourth block, AH0433B1. Okay, let me execute this. Okay. Similarly, data got extracted into SCADA format. Let me browse this. Okay. So now we don't have common ID. So let us create the common ID. Same command and you dstring and your ID has generated. Okay. And let me save this as well. I will save it in the same format. Okay. How many variables are there in this particular data set? You can able to see the observations around 87,559. This is the fourth one. Okay. And let me open the first one, which one we have decoded. How much here? 32,200. So this is also one of the clue that it is indicating your second block data, that is fourth level, is in the form of longitudinal. If you are not sure by observing whether it is in a wide form, long form, you can check each variables of their duplications. Use do command and check it out whether duplications are there or not. If duplications are there, it is also an indication that the data is arranged in longitudinal form. So we want to convert that into the wide form. Okay, how we do that? Before that, let me drop some of the variables, otherwise we won't understand how it created. I'm just deleting some of the variables so that file length becomes small. The command I am writing is drop. Okay, drop, and I have written the variables name. Done. So what it is here? Can you able to see? This is the serial number, crop code, unit code. Unit code means either it is a kg or number that you will get from key indicators. Pre-harvest value, irrigated area, pre-harvest value, unirrigated, pre-harvest value, total. This is irrigated, unirrigated, total. This is the ID which we have created just now, and this is the information of this particular block, key information we have. Here you can easily notice that there is a repetition. What is that? 104. What is 104? That you need to go back here and you need to check it out with the crop code. Here we have a crop code 104, right? Maize. Sometimes 0 is not shown, but 0104 is maize. Okay. This is also repeating. So again, we are confirming that this data is in the long format, not in the wide format. So what I'm going to do, I will create the other file which is in wide format. For that, we will be using command reshape. In Stata, you will be using the command reshape, and you will write down all the variables name here. If you just keep the cursor here and you will select, everything will be selected. But what is your J variable? Remember our example, J is the number of subjects, 1, 2, 3. So here also we have J variable 1 to 9. Okay, 1, 9. Somewhere it is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are there. So crops are 9 crops, or even you can check it. What is the, if you give tab serial number, 9 crops are there. Okay, so that will be your J variable. ID is, you know, we have already created, and when you execute this, it will be created into a wider form. Meanwhile, it will be giving you instructions that long has converted to wide and serial number has dropped. There the number of subjects has dropped, and similarly like grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, here crop code like 9 serial number was there, like crop code has become crop code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 till 9. Okay, and now your data is looking something like this. All the information are arranged in wider format. It becomes wider, right? And this we are going to save the reshaped file, okay? And this, the two information, the earlier file, what it is having, all the basic information, demographic information. Here we have crop and the pre-harvest value, okay? So this you want to compare with the other, like how states are behaving, how districts are behaving, how different households are doing in these aspects in different crops. You need to merge these two files. How we do that? First, you are going to, let me clear this entire data. What you want to merge? First, let me open this. This is the basic data, right? This I have selected, and for this data, I want to merge the second one, which we have decoded. Combined data set, you go here, merge 1-to-1 with what? ID. Both the files are having ID, and the reshaped file. So it has matched observation for 30,630 variables. Okay. Let me clear this and let me show. If I start merging with other one, which we have not changed, this one, original one, and data merge. Let me choose the old one, which is in long format. How data will be given with instructions. See, variable ID does not uniquely identify observations in the using data. So you cannot club your two sets of data into single file. So the reshaping is very, very important, and after reshaping, just you merge it. Okay. So let me save the merged one. The first one is, let me take the original one. Okay. And I'm going to merge 1-to-1 ID, the reshaped one. Okay. And this data you can save it as merge. Open merge file. Just browse it. You can able to see all the informations are available in single file now, starting from the basic information till now, and now the crops also came here. The crop code 1101 is for rice and it is kg. You go here and you see something. 2, it will be number. Okay. Likewise, all the data is arranged in single file. Okay. So you have to repeat this process for all the files. How many are there? 17 are there. Okay. This is for only one round, visit 1. Just take this data, text data, and go to layout and give the instruction to Stata what you really want to do, and extract all the information into Stata format. After that, you save it as a different folder. Then you check whether data is in wider format or longer format. Sometimes it will be in wider, then no need of reshaping. If it is in longer, then reshape and then merge. And when you repeat this process, just remove the merge file. If the merge is there, and it will be telling already merged. Just drop, give a drop, merge, and again you repeat the process. Okay, this is all about the data extraction part, and your rearrangement, merging, and keeping all your data into single file. Okay, so one more important thing I just want to mention here is that the use of weights. What is the use of weights? This is the sample data, right? This data is collected by government agency, and this is not the entire population. Similar, exactly the way how we collect as a student primary data, we go to the village and we collect, but that is not the entire population data. But we want to estimate. This data also give us the provision that we can use the multiplier which is given in the database and we can estimate it. How we estimate? For example, in this, you want to calculate some preliminary things like okay, sum of these three variables. Okay, something like this. This is for the sample database. If you want similar kind of estimates for the population, okay, that time you need to use the weights. Sorry. How you give the weight? Same command, sum, but within the bracket you mention this I weight. What is your weight? Multiplier. How I know yes, MLT. How I came to know MLT, how I created, every information is already given. Okay. Okay, so this sort of information you can use to interpret to the entire population rather than restricting only to the sample. But before doing this, you need to validate your result. Use the key indicator variables, check it for basic unit like households. Household estimates already given, estimated households. Just repeat this process and see you are getting similar results or not. If you are getting good results, then you repeat the same process. If you want to learn more about the weights, like which weights I have to use, I should use I weight or what is that meaning, in which context, which is workable, put H is a short form for the help. Anything you want to learn in Stata, put help and give the variable name. All the information will be shown for you, like F weight, P weight, A weight, I weight, in which context, which weight has to be used. Similarly, you can search for other commands also. Suppose you want regression, help regression. So you will get all the information, some examples, some data files that you can import and you can repeat the codes and you can learn, and then you can reuse those codes for your own data sets. So in this way, you can extract this database. This is the NSSO. Similarly, you can use this procedure for ASI, unincorporated database, that is for unorganized sector. So all sort of information you can able to do. What Alkamam was suggesting yesterday for you to learn, that is the NSSO recent round, this one, okay? Here it is there. You just go to MOSPI website and you go to a new website here, then recent publications will be there, and here the 77th round is there. When you just click this, you will get something like this. So you just click, all the data will be available for you. This is the text files and this is the layout file, okay? And supporting files are given here. This one, supporting file procedure, state code, tabulation, all these details are given here. Just download this. This is the recent one, and use the same procedure. Schedules I could not able to locate in this file. Just search for that and use this database for your analysis. So this is all about the process, how you work with the large data set, particularly unit level data set.